What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming back to check out this new top 5. It is my top 5 current underappreciated snowboards you can actually go buy right now. Sorry, Avran couldn't be here this time. He is sick in the hospital on rehab after drinking too much Gape wine. Starting off the list here with number 5, and that is going to be the Lago Snowboards Open Road. I own one of these. It's a ripping snowboard, and part of the reason it's overlooked or underappreciated is because it's a new brand, it's a smaller brand, and Lago basically just hasn't done a ton of marketing behind it quite yet, other than him riding him and a few dudes that get stuff on Instagram, basically. But it's pretty much a park flex in a directional pow-shaped snowboard. It's got a ripping side cut. I've talked about it in a few other videos that if you pay attention to the channel, you've probably seen me talk about this board already. It's awesome. It's super good for just about everything. It's one of those types of boards that, unless you're out there looking for a gnarly freeride deck, then it's the type of board you're going to ride every single day. It holds its own in powder, trees, park, carving, groomers, everything. It's super great. It's good for anything. You can put just about anybody on it because it's not stiff. It's super easy to ride. Number 4 on the list is the Capita Outsiders. Now, the reason I think this one is underappreciated or overlooked is because of the DOA. It's the perfect mid-flex, do just about anything twin. And that's what they actually market the DOA as. The DOA is actually way stiffer than that, and it's really not the board for the most people that are buying that board. So that's where the Outsiders actually comes in. It's the better board of the two, in my opinion, for the average snowboarder because it's easier to ride. The Outsiders basically is everything that they wanted the DOA to be. It's the perfect mid-flex, good at the park, good at the rest of the mountain. You can ride it in deep snow. Yes, you can ride camber in deep snow. I know, it's crazy, right? It's just good at everything. It's a super fun board. You can put just about anybody on it. It's got a good side cut to it. Everything that Capita has marketed the DOA as, the Outsider actually is. So if you're thinking about getting a DOA, if you don't want a gnarly stiff twin, then you don't want a DOA. You actually want an Outsiders. So go get an Outsiders because that's the board that actually fits what you're looking for. It's awesome. It's super versatile. Number 3 on my top 5 underappreciated snowboards is the Rossignol Jigsaw. And I pretty much entirely blame the underappreciation of this snowboard on the fact that it's got a big giant R on it and it's made by Rossignol. So one of the other big things that I think hinders this board a little bit is the name. Now, at this point, it's going to be kind of hard for Rossignol to get away from this name. People associate that know this board with this name, but Jigsaw is not a great name for their stiffest twin in the line, other than the HD, but that's also called the Jigsaw. Everybody tends to overlook Rossignol just because they think they're a ski company. Well, newsflash. They've been making snowboards for quite some time, and if you talk to some of the older pros out there, they'll tell you that some of the Rossignol's from back then are some of the best boards they've ever ridden, still. So they make great snowboards. They're super versatile, they're awesome, and the Jigsaw is one of my favorites out of that line. It's a true twin, camber between the feet, rocker outside the feet, a little bit of manual traction to it to give it a little bit more bite on hardback. It's something I can get loose on rails with. I can hit a big jump with them. I can float in deep snow. It's got awesome tips for deep snow for a twin. It's actually really good in deep snow. And it carves great, holds an edge. It's the type of board you can put anybody on and anybody can have fun on it just about anywhere. The second on my list for top 5 underappreciated snowboards is the Yes Basic. This is one of the snowboards that's lower on the price range, and I think that's one of the reasons it gets overlooked by a lot of people. People just resign it to being a beginner board, and it's not. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a lower end base. It doesn't have the centered bases that everybody seems to think they need. An extruded base can be fast. All you have to do is just take care of it a little bit differently. Just have to make sure it's ground, basically. It's got some structure. Structure makes things fast. It's a good mid-flex. It's got rocker in the tip, rocker in the nose, camber between the feet. It's got their fancy underbite side cut that actually does work really well. It helps take that pseudo contact point that happens with cam rock, right where the transition between the camber and the rocker zone is, and spreads that pressure zone out a little bit to your entire foot, basically, instead of just right in the middle of your foot, wherever that point ends up being. Works well. It's smooth. It actually does grip really well, and the board's super versatile. It's the type of snowboard that somebody like me, that I could ride peak to park every single day. It could be one of my only board. If I had to pick one board to ride for everything, Basic is actually on my list for that. It's really versatile. It's super easy to get on, and it's super easy to get because it's cheap. So don't overlook this snowboard. It's actually really solid. All right, honorable mentions. This one didn't quite make the list. I haven't had too much time on it, and maybe if I get more time on it, that might bump it up the list a little bit. But just recently read this one this year. It is the Nidecker Mellow. Now, again, I'm basically going to attribute the underappreciation of this board to the fact that it's made by Nidecker. It's awesome. That thing is so good. It rips so hard. All right, made it all the way through the video to my #1 top pick for underappreciated or overlooked snowboards, and it is the Rossignol One Mag. Again, another Rossignol. Shocked? You shouldn't be, because they make great snowboards. And the One Mag is kind of like the catch-all snowboard that these guys make. It's not super stiff. It's not super soft. It's got a little bit of a directional shape to it, a little bit more nose and tail, and that's what makes it super versatile. It's something you can still go ride in the park. You know, are you going to get gypsy on rails with it? You can if you're really good, but maybe not. But other than that, it's going to handle anything you want to do on it. And that little bit of setback to it that it has is going to help it float in deep snow a little bit better for you. It's good for everybody. It's the type of snowboard you can put anyone on and they're going to have a good time on it. And it rides really smooth. That construction that they've got in it, whatever they call it, the light frame, I think, it's smooth. And the board just kind of takes care of you. It was super fun to ride. It was a really enjoyable snowboard and something that you're probably overlooking and you shouldn't. So take a look at the Rossignol One Mag. Thanks for watching, everybody. This was my top 5 most overlooked or underappreciated snowboards that you can get right now. So go get one. What is your favorite snowboard? Do you think I missed something? Is there something that you really, really like that no one else seems to like or no one else seems to ride? Let us know. While you're at it, click the subscribe button. Make sure these videos are coming up through your YouTube feed. And while you're doing that, click the bells. Make sure you get notifications so that YouTube tells you when we're putting these videos out. And lastly, check out Angry Snowboarder VIP. It's a great way to support us and keep these projects coming. And who knows, maybe you get some cool stuff out of it.